Fans, we ask that you please turn your attention to the retired numbers in left field, where David's iconic number 5 will live forever.
You guys are trying to make this drive. Don't do it. First of all, an incredible congratulations to Tony Carullo. Well deserved. This is unbelievable. Last time I took this microphone, it was just before midnight on September 29th, 2018. We won 1-0 in extra innings. I drew a walk and popped out to the first baseman. Now, that might not seem very memorable to most of you, but to me, that meant the world. That night, I fully realized the extent of the relationship I had developed with the city of New York, and in particular, this Mets fan base. I'm not sure who cried more that night, me or my sleep-deprived daughters who stayed up way past their bedtime to cheer on their dad in his final game. I mentioned this incredible moment in my life, not to reminisce, like a lot of us old, broken down, former players like to do, but to acknowledge that we have truly formed something extraordinary in this game. An 18-year-old kid from Virginia, having the privilege of being a lifelong Met and developing an unbreakable bond with the best fan base in baseball. Now, whether or not I earned this love, this respect, can probably be debated. I never accomplished my goal of bringing a World Series back to Queens, but I promise you, I gave it everything I had and wanted it just as badly as you did. And I think this fan base recognized that and was willing to genuinely have my back and support me unconditionally through the good and the bad. And for that, I will always be thankful. People often ask, what does it take to get to the big leagues? I learned at a relatively young age that there is no magic pixie dust that you can just sprinkle on a kid and ta-da, magically become the third baseman for the New York Mets. What I can tell you is, for me, looking back on it, the recipe was pretty simple. Want it more than everybody else and be willing to work harder than everybody else. Have a top-of-the-line support system. In this support system, have 2 parents named Ron and Elisa, and 4 grandparents named Cletus, Henry, Helen, and Marie that were willing to sacrifice all of their time, energy, and money to make sure I could play this beautiful game as often as I liked. Also in this support system, have 3 terrific younger brothers named Stephen, Matthew, and Daniel that challenge you every day to become the best role model you can be, and along the way, teach you how to compete in everything in life. Baseball, ping pong, wrestling, pizza eating. Didn't matter. We were competing in it. Then surround yourself with friends that treat your successes the same way that they would treat their own. And along the way, understand that you will never have this game, on or off the field, figured out. And lean on your teammates, coaches, and staff to help you through the rough stretches. And speaking of teammates and coaches, surround yourself with some of the best in the game. After that, find a continuation of that same structured support system with a wife named Molly that partners with you, that takes that same work ethic and goal-setting mentality into life after baseball, in particular parenting, all while becoming a very mediocre soccer, softball, and baseball coach to your 3 kids, Olivia, Madison, and Brooks. A big thank you to Steve and Alex Cohen. I can't thank you enough. And their awesome support staff for this incredible honor and for your friendship. And on behalf of this amazing fan base, thank you for your dedication to making the New York Mets the best organization in the game. And thank you to their predecessors, the Wilpon family, for allowing me to live out my dream of playing for my favorite team my entire career. It was instilled in me at a young age that if you give this wonderful game, it'll give back. I gave everything I had to this game, and this game has been so gracious in what it has given me, including playing in front of 40,000 friends in each night for almost 15 years. So in closing, if you would have told a young David Wright to close his eyes and imagine this day, I would have said you're crazy. No way. Impossible. Then I would have went out to my backyard in Virginia and hit off a homemade tee with balls that were falling apart at the seams until it got dark outside to prove you right. My 3 wonderful kids, Olivia, Madison, and Brooks, often use the term for real life, when on occasion, they are telling the truth. Well, to borrow their term, this sure doesn't feel like for real life. Thank you so much for allowing me to live out my dream in front of you each night. I love you so much, and let's go Mets.